Sometimes when the lights are on full up here, it looks a little washed out, so if you need me to turn those down, just let me know. Want me to ring the bell?
Sure.
Okay, looks like we're set. Good morning, Sangha, and happy Father's Day. Deep bows. To all of you who are fathers, and to all of you who have been fathers or will be fathers in this realm, previous realms, and all other realms. We will begin today by reciting the Three Refuges. And please forgive me for not standing as we do this. I go for refuge to Buddha, my deeply awakened mind, the living source of understanding and compassion, which must be cultivated to be known fully. I go for refuge to Dharma, the path of mindful living, leading to healing, joy, and enlightenment, the way of peace, which must be cultivated to be known fully. I go for refuge to the Sangha, the loving and supportive community of practice, realizing harmony, awareness, and liberation, which must be cultivated to be known fully. I am aware that the three jewels are within my heart. I vow to realize them. I vow to understand living beings and their suffering. I vow to cultivate loving kindness and compassion and to practice joy and equanimity. I vow to live simply and sanely, content with few possessions, and to keep my body healthy. I vow to let go of all worry and anxiety in order to be light and free. I am aware that I owe so much to my parents, teachers, friends, and all beings. I vow to be worthy of their trust, to practice wholeheartedly, so that understanding and compassion will flower, and I can help living beings be freed from their suffering. May the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha support my efforts. May the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha support my efforts. May the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha support my efforts. Now, for those of you who are following along, on the very next page is the Heart Sutra, and we will repeat the title at the beginning and the end of the sutra. The Maha Prajna Paramita Hridaya Sutra. The Bodhisattva of great compassion, from the deep practice of Prajna Paramita, perceived the emptiness of all five skandhas and delivered all beings from their suffering. O Shariputra, form is no other than emptiness, emptiness no other than form. Form is emptiness, emptiness form. The same is true of feeling, thought, impulse, and consciousness. O Shariputra, all dharmas are empty. They are not born nor annihilated. They are not defiled nor immaculate. They do not increase nor decrease. So in emptiness, no form, no feeling, no thought, no impulse, no consciousness. No eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, no form, sound, smell, taste, touch, or objects of mind, no realm of sight, no realm of consciousness, no ignorance, nor extinction of ignorance, no old age and death, nor extinction of them. no suffering, no cause of suffering, no cease from suffering, no path to lead out of suffering, no knowledge, no attainment, no realization, for there is nothing to attain. The Bodhisattva holds on to nothing but prajna paramita. Therefore, the mind is clear of any delusive hindrance. Without hindrance, there is no fear. Away from all perverted views, one reaches final nirvana. All Buddhas of past, present, and future, through faith in prajna paramita, attain to the highest perfect enlightenment. Know then the prajna paramita is the great Dharani, the radiant peerless mantram, the utmost supreme mantram, which is capable of allaying all pain. This is true beyond all doubt. Proclaim now the highest wisdom, the prajna paramita. Gate, gate, para gate, parasamgate, bodhisvaha. Gate, gate, para gate, parasamgate, bodhisvaha. Gate, gate, para gate, parasamgate, bodhisvaha. The Maha Prajna Paramita Hridaya Sutra. The title of today's Dharma talk is A Matter of Nirvana. Nirvana is both a simple concept and a difficult one to understand, much less achieve in any realm. It is a major theme in all schools of Buddhism, and one that we here in the West, who have been preconditioned in Christianity, Catholicism, and Judaism, have struggled with since Buddhism hit our Western shores many decades ago. Now, everything any one of us would ever need to know about Nirvana is contained in Eknath S. Warren's The Dhammapada. This is a book all preceptors are familiar with. It is a book I go back to time and time again because it is so rich with the Buddhist story and the teachings. So first of all, what is Nirvana? And I quote, Nirvana is described as, here's the quote, the extinction of the sense of a separate ego. This state is not the extinction of personality, but its fulfillment. and it is not achieved after death, but in the midst of life. That's a very, very, very important concept. I'd like to read it again. Nirvana is described as the extinction of the sense of a separate ego. This state is not the extinction of personality, but its fulfillment. And it is not achieved after death, but in the midst of life. Fascinating. So nirvana, therefore, is not an afterlife or a heaven of sorts, like many people imagine. It is a state of being. Those of you familiar with Dharma talks given previously, I am a big fan of beingness. And nirvana is no different. It is a state of being that is available to any of us at any time if we diligently pursue the Buddha's beginningless and endless path. Nirvana is not a destination. It is a set of behaviors and a sense of self that we embody, we become. And then subsequently, we manifest that beingness to all beings we encounter. Now, we find the first references of the Buddha's encounter with nirvana when he was meditating under the Bodhi tree and was being tempted by Mara and his legions of armies. And I quote again, "When dawn came, the tree under which he sat burst into bloom, and a fragrant spring breeze showered him with blossoms. He was no longer Siddhartha, the finite personality that had been born in Kapilavatthu. He was the Buddha, he who is awake. And he had found a way to that realm of being," there's that word again, being, "which decay and death can never touch." Nirvana. That transformation is such an amazing, that story of transformation is amazing because it happened at the time that the Buddha was transformed from what they said was a finite personality, Siddhartha, to the infinite sense of being, that realm of being which decay and death can never touch. What is that? Nirvana. Again, the Buddha's encounter with nirvana was not any kind of a destination. It was not someplace he went, but a way of being which decay and death can never touch. Now, he was not immortal in the never-ending physical sense, but he had encountered a process to transcend decay and death itself within a state of beingness. And this state of being manifested itself to everyone by the radiance that surrounded the Buddha. Here's another quote. "As the scriptures of Moses and Jesus, we can imagine how the Buddha must have shone that bright spring morning in the Himalayan foothills. Dazzled by the radiance of his personality, it is said people gathered about him and asked, 'Are you a god?' No. Are you an angel then? No. What are you then? The Buddha smiled and answered simply, I am awake. The literal meaning of the word Buddha, from the Sanskrit root bud, to wake up. Are we awake today? Am I awake today? Are you awake today? Not just to the bad news and issues of the day, but fully awake to all things just as they are in this very moment. Now, at the age of about 80 comes the Buddha's final entry into nirvana, at the time of his passing on to the next realm. When he became seriously ill, his cousin Ananda wept for fear that the Buddha was leaving. The Buddha instructed Ananda, as we've all been instructed along this path, and I instruct you today, be a refuge unto yourselves. Be a lamp unto yourselves. Rely on yourselves and on nothing else. Hold fast to the Dharma as your lamp. Hold fast to the Dharma as your refuge, and you shall surely reach nirvana, the highest good, the highest goal, if that is your deepest desire. Wow. That's rich. I mean, that's full. So I have to ask, what is your deepest desire today on the path? Nirvana is within your reach. That golden ticket, remember Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? That golden ticket is within your grasp, nirvana. What are you doing and being to realize nirvana this morning and in all subsequent moments? Then, as we read on, the Buddha says, remember, brothers, this is at the end of his life, remember, brothers, all things that have come into being have come to an end. He's referring to the physical manifestation of his body. Strive for the goal with all your heart. Within 3 months, he who has come this way to teach you will enter nirvana for the last time in this realm. For I tell you, he later confided to Ananda, that Mara has appeared to me again, as I have not seen him since the day I attained nirvana. You may rejoice now, I told him, for this body will soon leave your kingdom. But Ananda, you must know that I, the Buddha's essence, nirvana, the Sangha, the Dharma, I will never leave you. How can I go anywhere? I love this part. This body is not me. Unlimited by the body, unlimited by the mind. A Buddha is infinite and measureless, like a vast ocean or the canopy of sky. I live in the Dharma I have given you, Ananda, which is closer to you than your own heart. I like that because the heart we always consider to be such an integral issue. You know, when we have a heart problem, that's a very, very serious thing. We take it very serious. Okay? But the Buddha says, I live in the Dharma I have given you, Ananda, which is closer to you than your own heart. And the Dharma, which is also infinite, will never die. Now, if any of you out there, like me, have ever encountered challenges of any kind, mild, moderate, medium, severe, then you understand that we all live with our own personal version of Mara. It's inescapable. It's the first of the Four Noble Truths. Life is suffering. What is our version of Mara? It could be anything. It could be doubt. It could be fear. It could be the three poisons, ignorance, greed, and anger. It could be as simple as a lack of belief in ourselves and what we have to offer anyone. I lived with that doubt for so many years. What do I have to offer? I'm nobody. Now, in the sense of ego and personality, that's a true statement. I'm nobody. I'm nothing special. As a Buddhist, I'm nothing special. As a follower of the path, there's nothing special about me. Master Dogen teaches that the path to enlightenment requires three things: great faith, great doubt, and great determination. No matter what you're experiencing, the Buddha has given us a path that can make us into something as individuals, can allow us to experience the beingness of Nirvana. He has given us a path that leads out of the darkness and into the light. He describes this in his teachings on joy. I'd like to read those to you. For those of you who are familiar with the Dhammapada, it comes in section 15, joy. I know I should have brought my reading glasses today. Let us live in joy, never hating those who hate us. Let us live in freedom, without hatred, even among those who hate. Let us live in joy, never falling sick like those who are sick. Let us live in freedom, without disease, even among those who are ill. Let us live in joy, never attached among those who are selfishly attached. Let us live in freedom, even among those who are bound by selfish attachments. Let us live in joy, never hoarding things among those who hoard. Let us live in growing joy like bright gods. Conquest breeds hatred, for the conquered live in sorrow. Let us be neither conqueror nor conquered, and live in peace and joy. There is no fire like lust, no sickness like hatred, no sorrow like separateness, no joy like peace. No disease is worse than greed, no suffering worse than selfish passion. Know this and seek Nirvana as the highest joy. Health is the best gift, contentment the best wealth, trust the best kinsman, Nirvana the greatest joy. Drink the nectar of the Dharma in the depths of meditation and become free from fear and sin. It is good to meet the wise, even better to live with them, but avoid the company of immature if you want joy. Keeping company with the immature is like going on a long journey with an enemy. The company of the wise is joyful, like reunion with one's family. Most families. Therefore, live among the wise who are understanding, patient, responsible, and noble. Keep their company as the moon moves among the stars. That's a very powerful section. And it again instructs us fully, right in that one section, about how to truly achieve nirvana. May you all today come to understand the meaning of nirvana and the ceaseless practice to attain this joy and enlightenment. Thank you for being here today with us. We will now move into the virtual tea. We will not have meditation today, but I do hope you spend some time in meditation and about the beingness of nirvana. Thank you. We will now close with our closing gathas. For all unskillful action ever committed by me since of old on account of my beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance, born of my body, mouth, and thoughts, now I atone for them all. Vast is the robe of compassion, a formless field of benefaction. I wear the Buddhist teachings for the benefit of all sentient beings. All beings, one body, I vow to liberate. Endless blind passions, I vow to uproot. Dharma gates without number, I vow to penetrate. The great way of Buddha, I vow to attain. Everyone have a good day.